You may now begin your presentation.
Ich träume davon, sinnvolle Beschäftigung zu ermöglichen. Ich träume davon, mein eigenes Unternehmen zu gründen.
Eine Gesellschaft, die zusammenarbeitet.
Innovative Ideen umzusetzen.
Eine Gesellschaft, in die sich alle einbringen.
Ich möchte Querdenker sein.
Ich möchte Menschen neue Chancen ermöglichen.
Hi, I'm Ellen.
My name is Martin.
I'm Michael.
My name is Atinda, and this is Robert.
We create our future by what we dream today.
That's why dreams drive us.
To take action.
To live dreams.
To change lives.
We are 120 members.
As one team.
120 dreams.
And one mission.
To create a better future for our people in need.
To make their dreams come true.
Living dreams.
Changing lives.
Welcome to the presentation of Enactus University of Mannheim.
Currently, we are working on 12 projects which go off through different phases. Startup, implementation, and handover. Today, we want to show you one project for each phase.
Flatmates, our concept to include disabled people into everyday life.
Social Point, our approach to disburden social workers.
And finally, Rhein-Neckar-Kiste, our project to enrich the work life of people with disabilities.
Well, last September, the four of us started to study. This was a huge dream, to finally move out from home. For us, this meant a great improvement of our quality of life. But for others, this natural development seems unreachable.
This is Steffi. She's a regular young woman who loves to swim and she takes dancing classes. And just like us, 1 year ago, her dream is to finally move out of her parents' home. But there's one thing that holds her back. Steffi was born with a disability. She cannot live like others her age.
And Steffi is not the only one facing this problem. 450,000 people in Germany are mentally challenged. Most of them live isolated in special facilities for handicapped.
So our goals are to truly include people with disabilities into our everyday life and to empower them to become more self-reliant.
We want to fulfill Steffi's dream of finally living on her own. A dream she shares with so many others.
People with disabilities have always been important to our team. Thanks to our previous achievements, we were approached by the city of Mannheim. They were facing a huge problem. The Johannesdiakonie Moosbach has to close the housing for 300 mentally challenged.
They had already developed an idea together with Steffi's mother. Steffi's mother owns a house in Mannheim. Here, 14 mentally challenged will find a new home. But here comes the catch. 2 students will live together with them and share their everyday life. So let's listen to Steffi's mother.
Ich erhoffe mir, dass die Steffi noch mehr jetzt Eigeninitiative entwickelt, im Gegensatz zum Beispiel bei einem geschlossenen Heimaufenthalt, dass wie in einem normalen Leben Steffi dann auch mal Spülmaschine einräumt, ausräumt, ein bisschen sauber macht.
And that's what's special about the house. To reach this new level of inclusion and independence for the mentally challenged, the students are essential. But the Diakonie had no idea how to reach them. So this is where Enactus Mannheim takes action with flatmates.
So to find 2 suitable students, we went into lectures and presented our house to 2,500 students. And this is how we met Linda. Linda studies Wirtschaftspädagogik and wants to move in our house. In an interview, we identified her motivation and qualification.
Next, we took her to the Begegnungstag to see if she was the perfect flatmate for our people in need. There, Linda, the mentally challenged, and we as well had so much fun while hiking and eating pizza that we had an idea.
Well, if it was already so cool having dinner together, how great would it be even preparing it? So we decided, with flatmates, we want to empower our people in need directly. In tutorials, we teach them how to manage everyday chores like cooking or cleaning.
Something they've not experienced before. So now, the project really can get going. Next Saturday, the first mentally challenged are going to move in. And we won't stop looking until we find another suitable student like Linda.
And even though Flatmates is a phase 1 project, we already care about its sustainability. This is why we create the Flatmates Handbook, in which we document every lesson learned. We conduct interviews with the parents and the staff, and constantly analyze our project. When we discover weakness, we find a solution together with our partner. For example,
parents face legal difficulties when moving their child in such a house. This is why, currently, our Enactus Mannheim legal department is developing a legal guideline.
But this one house in Mannheim is just the start.
Flatmates is a pilot project. The city of Mannheim has already agreed to use our documentation to establish more follow-up houses.
So, with Flatmates, we lay the foundation for a housing alternative for the other 300 mentally challenged who have to leave Moosbach. A housing alternative which brings mentally challenged closer to our society.
Now let's recap what we've achieved this Enactus year.
Entrepreneurial concept.
We answer demand for inclusive housing in our region.
Empowerment.
12 people with disabilities find a new home.
Sustainability.
We developed a detailed documentation to enable future houses.
Quality of life.
We include disabled in a normal neighborhood.
And standard of living.
In only 3 days, the first mentally challenged will move in their own new home.
With Flatmates, we change the lives of Steffi and her flatmates. Their dream of independence will finally come true.
Next is our Phase 2 project, Social Point.
The social sector is like the backbone of our society. We don't realize its importance until it fails to support us. In 2010, the Zivildienst was cancelled. Until today, about 50,000 positions in retirement homes, food banks, or second-hand shops still remain unreplaced. And now, social workers have to carry this huge additional workload. Their dream is to help those less fortunate than us. But there's just too much to do, and too little time.
One of these social workers is Hans-Peter. He hands out food at the Tafel of Mannheim to people who can't afford a regular meal. He is someone we want you to get to know and appreciate more.
So our goals are
to gain more appreciation for social workers
and to reduce their workload.
We want to empower Hans-Peter and his colleagues to get the support they need on their own.
The first challenge we tackled was the lack of appreciation. That's why this year we presented social work to 280 pupils in Mannheim. We even took 70 of them directly into social institutions where they got to know social work at first hand. That really changed the image of social workers and raised the appreciation for them. Our project became so prominent, even the Rhein-Neckar-Fernsehen decided to document our work.
Die Studenteninitiative bringt Schulklassen und Krankenhäuser zusammen. Ein Bündel von Aktivitäten und die Region profitiert davon.
In the second step, we connect pupils with social institutions where they work and thereby support the social workers. Volunteering might not be the coolest activity you can imagine. This is why we designed a personalized certificate for the pupils. They can use this when applying for a job.
Take for example Jan, who now supports the social workers at the Tafel Mannheim. His help has reduced stress for the workers and allows them to focus on the core of their work, helping others. Well, enough of our talking, let's listen to our social worker, Hans-Peter.
Seit die Schüler mit dabei sind, das ist also sehr toll für uns, das ist eine große Hilfe, weil wir sehr viel Arbeit haben, also das bringt uns wahnsinnig viel.
This year, we convinced 11 pupils to support 8 social workers in 4 different social institutions. For example,
Martina is supported by Aidan at the second-hand shop of the Red Cross.
Marina and Martina help Andrea at the Kinderkaufhaus Neckarstadt. The pupils committed to work for a total of 405 hours this Enactus year.
Give a man a fish and you feed him for a day. Teach a man to fish and you feed him for a lifetime. For us, this proverb defines real empowerment. For now, we fed the social workers with additional support, but in a year or two, it will all be the same again. So we went on and taught the social workers to fish for pupils on their own.
To achieve this sustainability, we partnered with the IHK Rhein-Neckar to establish social, educational partnerships between schools and social institutions. We are introducing contracts that specify how many hours the students work regularly in the social institutions.
So, we empower our people in need to reduce their own workload in the long run. And at the same time, we offer chances for pupils to get a work experience. It's a win-win situation.
So let us show you what we've already achieved this Enactus year.
Entrepreneurial concept.
We improved our innovative incentive system.
Empowerment.
With partnerships, we empower our people in need to get support they need on their own.
Sustainability.
We found a strong partner, the IHK, who makes these partnerships legally binding.
Quality of life.
We raised appreciation for 8 social workers in 4 different social institutions.
And standard of living.
Now, the pupils reduce the workload and the physical stress of our people in need by 405 hours this Enactus year.
And we can proudly say that Hans-Peter now does his work with a smile on his face, because he gets the support he needs and the appreciation that keeps him going.
Now let us share one last dream with you. Our Phase 3 project, Rhein-Neckar-Kiste, will be handed over this semester.
Did you watch Champions League final? Yeah, I know guys. And I watched the game and I know one happy Bayern Munich fan from Mannheim, Andy.
Andy is a passionate and ambitious football player. Just like on the soccer field, Andy also wants to demonstrate his capabilities at his workplace, a sheltered workshop for mentally challenged. However, often only boring and monotonous production steps are outsourced to the disabled, like simply putting minds into pens. But actually, Andy and his colleagues can accomplish so much more. This is why, in 2010, we introduced the Rhein-Neckar-Kiste.
The Rhein-Neckar-Kiste is a wooden souvenir box filled with regional specialities, buying from the Pfalz, Pelzer Saumagen, Monomer Dreck and other chocolate pralines.
But the actual great thing about the Rhein-Neckar-Kiste is how it empowers people with disabilities. 12 disabled produced the Rhein-Neckar-Kiste in the sheltered workshop of our partner, the Diakonie Vogelstein.
The production process of the Rhein-Neckar-Kiste is perfectly suited to train their motor abilities. When Andy is building the box, he's sawing, cutting and assembling. With the Rhein-Neckar-Kiste, he and his colleagues create an entire product that they can be proud of.
And our idea was so successful that even Enactus Frankfurt and Gießen franchised our idea.
This year, the Rhein-Neckar-Kiste reached the final stage of its project development. Starting in July, our partner will be responsible for the entire product. So now, to ensure long-lasting working opportunities for Andy and his 11 co-workers, we had to fulfill 3 final steps.
First, broaden our customer base.
Second, develop new distribution channels.
And third, empower our partner to run the business on his own.
Well, the Kiste's main buyers are usually high-budget consumers. For example, this year customers included big companies such as BASF and SAP. And we wanted to go even one step further, so we expanded our customer base. This is the small Rhein-Neckar-Kiste. With a different product composition, it is cheaper than the original, and it was a complete success.
In only 12 months, we sold 557 small boxes. Together with the sales of 318 big boxes, that makes a revenue of over 25,000 euros this Enactus year.
However, what's really important is how this money directly benefits our people in need. The Rhein-Neckar-Kiste has a profit margin of 7%. That means this Enactus year, 1,800 euros went towards financing sporting programs like wheelchair hockey, table tennis, and of course, football.
As a second step, we introduced new distribution channels. Currently, we are redesigning the website and the online shop to increase sales. Also, the Rhein-Neckar-Kiste is now sold at our university.
In our third and final step, we empower the Diakonie to run the business completely on their own. Therefore, we taught them sales management and IT skills. And once again, we, as Enactus Mannheim, got a project ready to be handed over sustainably.
So let's recap what we achieved this Enactus year.
Entrepreneurial concept.
We added new distribution channels and introduced the small Eineckerkiste.
Empowerment.
Our people in need are responsible for the entire production process and train them mobility.
Sustainability.
We got our project ready to be handed over to our partner, the Diakonie.
Quality of life.
12. People with disabilities have a meaningful occupation and fun at their work.
And standard of living.
We sold more than 850 boxes, generating a revenue of over 25,000 euros for our people in need.
Now, all steps are taken so that the Rhein-Neckar-Kiste will continue to give Andi and his 11 co-workers a fun and meaningful occupation.
Today, we showed you 3 projects.
Projects in which we live our dreams.
Which change lives.
Steffi dreamed about independence. To accompany her, Linda, and the other flatmates into their new home is such a great experience for me.
Hans-Peter dreamed of having more time to help others. When I first met him and Jan, I could see their close relationship. This mutual respect and support just stunned me.
Andi dreamed of a meaningful occupation. With incredible joy, he showed me how he moves the box. And being part of this project just makes me proud.
But our team is about so much more.
With 12 projects.
We reached 2 million people.
Saved 1.7 tons of carbon emissions.
Generated 55,000 euros of revenue.
To empower 109 people in need.
To make their dreams come true.
We are driven by dreams.
The dreams of our people in need.
Our dreams.
Living dreams.
Changing lives.
We are Enactus Mannheim.